It's Logan Renee of the Soulkation Podcast, a place where you will learn how to shape your own success, how to get over situationships, and how to maximize your unique gifts. For more in-depth tools, head on over to loganrenee.com. Hi, everyone. I have Yasmine, who's a fashion and lifestyle blogger and is a property management professional by day. She was born in West Africa, but now she lives in the beautiful Washington, D.C. You have to love D.C. Her vision is promoting body positivity and helping other women embrace and celebrate their journeys. Yasmine, welcome to the Soulkation Podcast.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
I know. My friend sent me your blog maybe like a month or so ago. And of course, I started reading the different articles because I'm in a single season. So half of them related to me. So thank you for your blog, first of all.
No problem.
So right out of the gate, take us to the Yasmine before the blogger and the professional.
Oh, wow. The Yasmine before the blog and before my career was in a relationship that meant the world to me, and my world kind of revolved completely around this relationship. And I was just completely, it's like looking back at it, I was completely lost in it, and it became my identity. So, of course, when it ended, I didn't know what to do with myself. I had to basically start everything over and just figure everything out from scratch.
Yeah, completely understand. So what made you start the blog?
So the blog actually came out back when I was in college. I did YouTube for a while, just sharing like style and beauty tips, because I found that a lot of my friends used to come to me when it came to like hair tips or, fashion advice. So I took that as a way to start a YouTube. But then YouTube is very time consuming. Like you have to record, edit, and do all this stuff. And it was taking too much of my time. So I decided that blogging was a better platform for me to share my views and share my advice. So I started it that way. So in the beginning, it was strictly just beauty and fashion things. And then as my life changed, I wanted the blog to kind of change with me, start sharing more personal things such as, things that are going on with me, like relationship wise. I even shared a couple like finance related topics because that's important to me now. So I just want the blog to be a, reflection of the stage in life that I'm in right now.
That's good. That's really good. Because how you start the vision and things that you start to work on doesn't stay the same. It always grows with the person. So I love that.
Exactly.
So a lot of singles get different labels all the time. So what are some labels that you hear, that's placed on us?
Well, one of the common labels that I hear in the DC area is just that you're like high maintenance or too picky. Because in the DC area, you have a lot of like really ed people and, that have their doctorates and masters and, they have high level positions within, all these different companies and everything. So a lot of people will label them as either bougie or high maintenance or really, really picky. Like, oh, well, you can't find a man because you're too picky. You want a man that's this and this. But, it's okay to be picky. If you're going to pick a person to be with for the rest of your life, be a little picky.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's literally one of the hardest choices that you're going to make. I mean, because you're about to go and covenant with this person. You're about to share your finances with this person. Like, what?
Lord, yeah.
It's like, this is serious, people. This is serious.
Very serious.
Your Surviving Thanksgiving single article was hilarious and so true. And it's so funny because every family reunion or family gathering, the conversation is, where your man at? Why haven't you found a man? But yet the men in my family never get these questions. And me and my brother, we're 13 months apart. So out of the 6 times he's been asked where his wife is, 600 times I've been asked where's my husband. So why do you think women are pressured more about having a man than men?
Well, first of all, I do think that it goes back to the gender roles. Because, with ladies, we are bound as far as, having kids and everything. And that is one of the things that you're kind of expected or, required when you do get into a relationship. They'll start asking, oh, when are you going to start having kids? And after you have the first kid, when are you going to have the second kid? So I think largely because of that, women are more pressured to get into a relationship because we're more time bound with our reproduction. So I think that is heavily, where all of that pressure comes from. But I think that we had to evolve as a society and not put so much pressure just on the females, because it's hard, and it can be quite depressing to be constantly badgered about like, oh, where's your man at? When you gonna get a man? And when you gonna have kids? And just like all this stuff. And then it's like, sometimes, what if you want to just stay single? Or what if you don't want to have kids? Because, that's a thing too. Like, it's okay to not want to have kids and not want all these things that it's just like society has kind of pre-programmed us to want.
Yeah. I mean, we had Barbie dolls and baby dolls. So we were playing house at 6 and 4.
Exactly.
The guys had the motorcycles. They were trying to live their best life all the time. So how does a woman keep her confidence in a circle full of couples?
Now, that one is really hard, just to be completely honest, because especially when you guys hang out, maybe you're like the third wheel or the fifth wheel or whatever. It can be really hard, because then you'll see them all, like boot up and stuff. You'll see their relationship kind of progress. Like, you'll start seeing their ups and downs and everything. And it's okay to want to have it, but you have to kind of make sure you're keeping your emotions and your, you got to still keep everything intact and still, keep it cute. You don't want your friends to not want to hang around you because you become so envious of their relationship. And you may look at their relationship and think that it's, oh my God, you guys are so perfect, but they might be at home arguing every single day. So, I think that when people have relationship goals, keep in mind that you're only seeing, unless you're with those people literally 24/7, it's just like variables within their relationship that you don't see. Because a lot of times, with social media, you'll have a couple post like a cute picture and everything, like, oh, you guys are so cool together. But they get home and they argue and they're not sleeping in the same bed. The guy probably cheating. The girl might be cheating too. So you got to keep in mind that it's just like, they may not be your relationship goals afterwards. So just take your time and then just stay in your lane. Don't look at what's happening with them. Just kind of stay focused on your own journey.
Yeah, that's so true. Because it looks good. It looks really good, but you never know. And maybe they're not arguing. But how they met, what they're doing is not your lane. It's not your story, and who wants a borrowed romance?
Exactly.
Like, no one.
Right.
Your Single and Afraid article was hilarious also. Loved it. For the men that are listening, what would you recommend that they stop sending us the what you doing text at 12 a.m.?
Yeah, just please stop doing that. Please, guys. Please, I'm asking very nicely. It is the most annoying thing. And especially just as a person, you get those all the time from all types of guys. It's not just like the local hood type of guys that's in there. No, it's like the professional ones too, so the white ones, the black ones, whatever. Like, that's a common thing that all guys do, is send those annoying WYD texts. Even if you spelled it out, that might be just a little tiny bit better. But unless we really have like that type of relationship where we've been talking constantly and I know your personality, you know mine, then maybe that's okay. But it's just like, if we're just getting to know each other, please send me a WYD text. And I think what makes it worse is don't send that and then don't have like, oh, well, what are you doing? Well, let's go out to this bar, or let's go out, check out this restaurant. And then surely don't send that text at 2:00 in the morning when me and Jesus are quietly asleep and we don't want to be bothered right now.
That is so funny. Because it's like, I'm an afterthought. Like, you didn't make a plan for me, It's like, since I don't have anything else to do, let me see what she doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, no. And it's funny because the what you doing text becomes very comfortable for women, especially like if we're not dating anybody or not doing anything. So we have a lot of idle time. What would you recommend women deal with that time?
Go hang out with your friends, go work out, read a book, go study something, like literally do anything else, because that idle time, it will kill you. That idle time, I feel like it even pushes some women to settle for situations that they're not 100% for. But in today's world, sometimes it's better to just have somebody than to not have anybody at all. So really like toxic thing that a lot of women actually go through. And I have some friends that have ended up in relationships because it's just like they just have all this idle time. They have their house by themselves. They work all day. They come home to an empty house and they don't have nobody to do or anything. And then
first guy they meet that's just like half decent, they'll just like settle for them. But this guy might have like all this baggage that you specifically know you don't want to deal with, but you allow yourself, you open yourself to that person because, oh, he's a nice guy and he's in my life right now and I don't have anybody else in my life right now. So I will accept him as is, even though he has very specific things that I know I don't want to deal with.
Right.
Yeah. So find something to do. Please do. Because for me, I kind of suffered a little bit with that. I had a period where I was just signed on to every dating app that I even knew. I was on all of them. And I was like going out on all the dates. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to be open. If they ask me out, I'm just going to go. And that's not the way to do it, because then you'll just end up with headaches and a phone full of WYD text messages, and it will drive you crazy. So, I started working out. So that started taking a lot more of my time. I actually started reading. I got a library card. I had to have a library card since junior high school. So I got a library card, and I just started hanging out more with my family and just trying to be closer to like my friends and spending more time with them. That really helped a lot. I mean, I'm going to be honest. Still have times where, I'm just sitting at home saying, well, I really wish I had somebody in my life right now. But, and that's perfectly normal. You shouldn't be ashamed to have those feelings, but learn how to control it.
Yeah. It's funny because on the side of me feeling lonely or not having anybody, when those moments come, I found myself getting very close to a brownie or a cookie or Ben and Jerry's ice cream or something like that. And of course, that's a horrible habit to pick up.
Yeah,
so
stay away.
Making sure I, fill those gaps with stuff, like you said, family member, people who actually already love you. You don't even have to try to get them to love you. They already love you. Your friends already love you. Your purpose already love you. So it's not something you have to go out and find. It's a lot of times it's something you have to recreate with your time.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So let's say you're on the couch with your best friend. You're either having a cocktail or you're having some coffee, either one. And she just says she's afraid, like you were just saying, of being single. What would you tell her?
Well, first, I'll tell her, it's okay to be afraid. It's completely okay. Because I feel like when you tell someone that you're afraid, the first thing that they tell you is, oh, don't be afraid. It is not that cut and dry. When we are literally programmed from birth to search for relationships, seek relationship, and do whatever we can to stay in relationship. So it's versus to unprogram yourself from that mentality when that's all you see and that's all you've been taught forever. So first, it's okay to be afraid. And, kind of own that. Because once you own that feeling, then you can kind of start working through, the pain from it and start trying to figure out different ways to kind of, put that feeling to the side. So once you own the fact that, okay, I'm scared that I'm going to go for the rest of my life, like own that feeling. But then it's just like, okay, it's not the end of the world. I have a greater purpose than to be someone's girlfriend and to be someone's wife. So maybe, if you're involved in your church, you can start, putting more work into your church. If, you have friends that you can help, or maybe your career is really popping, put more time into that. But find something else or find what your purpose is, or just do different activities that can help you figure out what your purpose is. But don't think that just kind of like, it's not a problem that you can really just wish away, because unless you're going to just live by yourself under a rock somewhere. But if you're active on like social media and in your life, because I'm 29, so it's like I'm at that age where all of my friends or my group of friends are, getting married, having babies. So it's like every time I log on to Facebook, someone's posting a engagement, a wedding, or the baby announcement. It's not uncommon for me to also want those things for me, but it's not my time yet. So before my time comes, I'm with other things make me happy.
Right. And his timing is perfect, because a lot of times I say the Logan at 25 would have ruined her marriage, and the Logan at 21 never would have gotten, proposal anyway. So he knew those things.
Yeah. And see, looking back, that was my only relationship. So to me, that felt like my entire existence right there. But then it's just like looking back at it, I know that if I had married him, I would have settled, or I would have married the wrong person, because, looking back at it, I knew that there were things about him or things about his personality that were, I wasn't okay with. And that was that, oh, he loves me, so I'm going to change him, which that's also a thing that is not okay. You shouldn't want to completely change someone's personality Like if you're dating someone and you absolutely want to erase from their whole personality, then maybe that person isn't for you, because you shouldn't want to change someone, their like characteristics. I know there are certain, like sometimes there are behaviors that you can improve, but if they have like a certain thing about them that you absolutely want to change, then you're going to ruin them and ruin the relationship trying to change that. You might as well just go find somebody that's more in line with what you want.
I agree. 700%. Let's talk about fashion. So when we go into the store as women, we expect what's on the rack to meet our actual needs as far as like how we feel about looking sexy. And I always recommend you go in the store with your style in mind and you find those pieces that match your unique style or swag or essence or whatever. So what do you recommend when women are shopping, for their body types and their styles?
Well, first, if you're still trying to identify exactly what your style is, then I definitely recommend just going to a store and just trying on a bunch of stuff. Just not with the intent of purchasing anything, but just go and just try on things. And try on things you would never even put on, just to see how you feel. Or just because sometimes, if you're not, just open fashion-wise, then you may be blocking certain styles just because you're afraid of them or something. So just go and just have like a free day where you're trying on everything that catches your eye or everything that doesn't even catches your eye, just so you can get a better feel of what looks good on your body and your body type. And the second thing that I recommend is to, because everybody is on social media now, I definitely recommend following like an influencer or blogger close to your body type, just so that you can see how things fit on them. So then that can give you a better idea of what may also look good on you. Because sometimes, the stores, their models may be a certain way. Right. But if you're following like a blogger who, let's say you're, very busty, so follow bloggers that are also very busty so that, what cut may look as good on you.
Right. I like that. That's good. That's good, Yasmine. And some women who will listen to the podcast are entrepreneurs and they actually want to start a blog. And what are some tools or apps that you use that you would suggest that has really, really helped you?
Well, two things that really helped me with my blog. Number one, the first thing that I tell everyone is Canva. Canva is a free online site where you can design different types of marketing material, or they have like templates for everything. They have templates for business cards, flyers. I even use one of their resume templates to create my media kit. So they really have a multitude of things. And it's not just for bloggers too. Just, business owners of all walks of life, of all industries can find Canva useful. So it is free, but they do have a paid subscription that you can also do that gives you, access to more features, which is great if you really, if you're doing like really intense things or different type of designs, then it may be worth it to just get the paid membership. But Canva is a must-have for everyone because and it has very easy drag and drop kind of features. So you don't even have to do all of that Photoshop work type of stuff. It's very easy dragging and dropping pictures and words, and then you're done. And then the second app, well, for me, for my website, I use Squarespace. So Squarespace also comes with an app and be on the go and still write my blog posts and post them, which becomes very convenient because nowadays I'm rarely in front of a laptop unless I'm in my office. But then, I got to do real work. I can't just do my blogging work. So at the gym, on a bike or something, I can check my Squarespace if my website needs to be edited or if I need to edit a post or add pictures or anything. I can do all of that from my phone.
Nice. Canva is my best friend, by the way.
Yeah.
My best.
So you know how easy it is.
So easy. Yes, definitely. You all have to check out Canva and Squarespace. Definitely.
Yeah, because even with Canva, so this year I published a swimsuit lookbook. So I did it kind of like a magazine style. So they had a couple of different magazine templates. So I just took a template. I got my pictures back from my photographer. I just plugged it in, put in words, and I had a magazine. So it was so easy. Again, just dragging and dropping and moving things around until I like it.
I didn't even know about the magazine feature. That's good. That's good to know.
Oh, yeah.
Good to know. So now it's time for our rapid soul question. So the first thing that comes to your mind, just spit it out, whatever pops in your head. So the first question is, name one person you think is really funny.
Oh, really funny. I would have to say Jess Hilarious. She has an Instagram. she's been on Wild and Now. I think she has a movie, but she's from Baltimore, and she just started making these funny videos on Instagram, and it kind of just like blew up. But I love watching her Instagram and watching her on like Wild and Now, seeing her career blossom. But she is hilarious. So if you haven't checked her out, definitely go look her up on Instagram.
Just hilarious. Okay. What's the last song you listened to?
Last song I listened to was Get You by Daniel Caesar.
Oh my God. He's amazing. Those vocals are ridiculous. I'm like, do you hear your vocals, sir? Do you hear him?
He is everything. And I saw him when he came to DC for Broccoli City Fest. And he was even more amazing in person. I was just like in a trance.
I love Broccoli Fest. I actually moved from Maryland 5 months ago to California. So I'm literally fresh off the East Coast. Love DC. What is your favorite season of the 4?
My favorite season is fall. I guess, well, kind of in summer fall, which is September and October, basically. It's still warm, but it's not, big, thick coat kind of weather yet. And my day is September, so that's why I also like that season. So shout out to the Virgos.
What is one trait that you like the most about yourself?
I think I like my kindness. I feel I'm just naturally kind to people. Like even when I had instances with friends where it's just like, okay, they may have did something to make me upset, it's like I'll get over it and then go back being friends. So I like my kindness, and I'm able to, really just open myself up to people.
Yeah, I love it. What is one product besides your phone that you must use every single day?
My planner. I have like an actual, planner. So for me, writing things down, I remember them quicker if I actually write them. My planner, it's kind of small. I couldn't have one of those big 8x11 size planner because I need it to be able to be portable. So I have my planner, and it is usually always with me. So I don't forget something, because I will have things both at work and with the blog that'll just like pop up. And if I don't write it down, it's not happening.
I agree. If you could go to dinner with anyone, who would it be?
It would be Maddie James. She's a blogger, influencer, a whole bunch of other titles like that. But I think she is just absolutely so dope. And I would love to sit down and have dinner with her and just like pick her brains and just talk about everything.
I love it. What's one book you believe everyone should read?
Ooh, everyone. I think everyone should read, I forgot the author. It's called Who Moved My Cheese. Yeah. And it's a very quick read too. It's a small book and you'll get through it in a day. Just to give you like a quick summary, it's basically about being adaptable. So your cheese can be whatever goal that you're going after. And then in the story, you have 4 characters running after this cheese, and it's like it keeps being moved around. So it's like in life, you may have a goal, but, circumstances changes. So you got to be able to learn how to change with it in order to still accomplish that goal. And that book is literally for all. I first when I was in junior high school, and then I read it again about 2 years ago. So definitely go pick up that book. I really can't remember who the author is, but it's called Who Moved My Cheese, and it is so good.
It is. It makes you smile because it's like, so like, I don't know, like it's like kiddie, but it relates to any adult.
Yeah, and I love books like that are just like, the concepts are really easy, but the meanings are like, it's really deep, but it's so easy to read.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you so much, Yasmine. I mean, you were dropping jewels just to give you all just a snippet that your business and your blog and your platform should evolve as you do. Keep your emotions intact when you're around other couples. Don't be so emotional because you want to still have those relationships. Focus on your lane, focus on your journey. Just because he is a nice guy doesn't mean he's your guy. It's okay to be afraid, own the feeling, no matter how you're feeling about your single season, because you have a greater purpose. Try on everything, ladies who are looking to step up their fashion game this year. Just try on everything with the intention of not purchasing. You don't have to purchase anything, but just try it on. Yeah. I mean, you were dropping jewels.
Thank you.
So thank you so much. How can we find you? How can we support you? What are you looking to do next?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram. It's at Darker Berry, and that's Berry spelled Berrie. So I'm on Instagram. My website is also darkerberry.com. So you can find me on both of those platforms. What I have coming is, so for the last 2 years, I hosted a vision board brunch here in DC, and I'm doing it again for 2019. It's going to be January 5th, and tickets are already on sale on Eventbrite. So if you are in the DC metro area, definitely go purchase your ticket because you do not want to miss it.
Nice. See, she's trying to be bi-coastal so she can participate in both activities. So if that becomes a dream of mine sooner, then I would love to attend that. It sounds really fun.
All right.
Well, thank you so much, Yasmine. I more than appreciate you for joining us for this episode.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good one.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. You too.
My hope is that your soul just went on a vacay and you have tools that you can apply to your life today. I love your feedback, so make sure you subscribe and email your questions by clicking on the link in the show notes. I'll talk to you soon.